In a digital age, the integration of artificial intelligence into our lives is growing. It's no different in the world of marketing as AI slowly shapes digital advertising in front of our eyes. Now, while a number of users believe AI, or specifically generative AI, is mainly used for content creation, it has brought about several other applications as well. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Dialani. Now, programmatic advertising is a game changer in the advertising industry. Combining AI with programmatic advertising is changing the way brands and advertisers target their audiences and optimize their campaigns. In today's podcast, we are going to take a closer look at the role of AI in programmatic advertising. And let's welcome Ishank Joshi, founder, managing director, and CEO of Mobavenue. Hi, Ishank. How are you doing?
Hey, hi Priya. I'm very good. Thanks for inviting us to this podcast. Really excited to share our insights.
Definitely, it's a pleasure to have you with us on a podcast today, Shank. And of course, having taken a podcast for quite some time, I haven't come across this term as programmatic advertising and how AI is, changing this entire landscape and bringing more innovations in a digital marketing landscape. But before we dive deeper into our core agenda today, I would like to know more about Mobavenue. So, can you help us understand more about the organization, its specialization, or any particular solution the company is offering?
Got it. Great. So, primarily Mobavenue is, at heart, it is a technology company where, our current primary focus is developing AI-powered programmatic and digital growth consumer platform. That's what been doing it for last, 7 years of our existence. We are very much headquartered in India, where we've been helping businesses across, all sort of businesses, whether it is enterprises, whether it is digital native businesses, whether it is growth stage startups, media agencies, media publishers, to, drive full funnel consumer journeys. We have a very strong foundation at our, management teams and leaders, which come from technology background and business leadership, and presently using our proprietary AI and ML consumer platform, we are helping most of our brands, we call it as customers today, for awareness and acquisition and engagement and retention campaigns. So that is exactly what Mobavenue is primarily doing from a technology point of view. We've earned lot of industry recognition, and thanks to our amazing set of customers, who we continue to adapt and continue to work and grow with them over last 7 years of our journey. We've been growing in India, primarily, and we have also grown outside India, primarily in Asia, Middle East, Europe, and US. These are some of the large markets where we would have entered in last 12 to 24 months. And we continue to put our platform across all these markets beyond. We continue to shape more and more products in India. So that's about Mobavenue.
Great. Thank you for that, Ishank. And it's always fascinating to understand the foundational story and the core focus areas that shape an organization's journey. And, knowing the specialization helps set the context for the innovations and impact that fall. And of course, we're going to discuss that in our today's episode. And of course, it's this grounding that makes the upcoming conversation all the more exciting. I mean, I want to shift the gears to you, Ishank. So
Yeah.
you have around like 12 years of experience in B2B and technology platforms, and you have demonstrated a remarkable ability to build high performance teams, drive business growth, and seamlessly integrate entrepreneurial principles into corporate structures. So
Right.
we would like to know more about your role and initiatives as to how they're bringing more life to the organization's vision.
Yeah, as a MD CEO of Mobavenue, and also one of the co-founders, largely my role are very, very strategic, decision making. I try to lead up revenues, client success initiatives, global expansion, and largely we're also looking at merger and acquisitions over next 12 to 24 months of our journey ahead. That's where my core focus lies. Of course, as a business owner and as a team, driver, I also look at fundraising activity, ensuring that we are growing profitably. That's very, very important for us. We being a bootstrapped company over last 7 years, we've been very, very conservative. But at the same times, we have generated 45% CAGR growth for our shareholders. So that's where we continue to put that kind of efforts moving forward as we kind of grow for this decade. And parallelly, one of the core focus is, of course, on the technology outframes, where I work very, very closely with my technology management and my partners to see where we can augment our technology, where we can disrupt what's happening in the digital advertising space, and how we can build that disruption from India and export it outside. So these are my core function areas where I continue to put my effort, and we continue to drive measurable outcomes for our customers.
Definitely, and I mean, I'm really impressed by your overall, journey till date, and I think your journey and of course the day-to-day responsibilities really help us paint a clearer picture of how innovation and strategic thinking actually happen, behind the scenes, and it's of course a great reminder of how leadership and collaboration shape the culture and the success of any forward-thinking company in today's digital age. Now, moving, to our core discussion. So I was just reading across this article, and I came across this recent study from McKinsey, which estimates that generative AI might add as much as a 4.4 trillion USD dollars to the global economy annually. And particularly in recent years, AI-powered tools became increasingly ubiquitous across the marketing landscape to augment human labor and streamline workflows. Now,
Yes.
if you're talking about AI powered tools or generative AI in the marketing realm, I think from customized content creation to task automation and even data analysis, I think we have seen endless applications of AI in marketing. And
Hmm.
with AI powered advertising becoming a recent, a trend, I think we are now seeing this AI driven programmatic advertising, becoming the hype. So, what exactly is this, programmatic and growth marketing, and what is the role of AI here?
Great question, Priya. And so I'll give an example, and start with an example. What is the difference between a programmatic marketing and growth marketing? Primarily, you can consider programmatic marketing as just simply buying and selling of digital ad inventory, right? Which has been existing for last, 1.5 decade. While the platforms would have changed from web to mobile, all of this buying and selling happens through a software, right? And that is something which most of the companies try to build at a proprietary level. Now, this software really helps us to consume a lot of data insights and build a lot of automated models to ensure that, for a particular set of advertisers, we are able to buy and sell this digital, inventory at scale. So that is where, programmatic marketing plays a very, very important role. Whereas growth marketing largely is a much more holistic and involves a more customer life cycle. So imagine this thing that when we bring a very high intent user on any of a platform, your platform or your app, your game, or your website should be fully optimized. How you can how you can take up the details of the customer, take consents, push them towards the next funnel in your product, which involves maybe a registration, maybe purchase on your product. And then comes about your CRM capabilities, wherein you want to activate the same customer again and again. So while programmatic advertising helps you to bring high intent users, growth marketing helps you to ensure the user is converted into a purchase, right? So that's something is a primer difference. Now, your question was how the role of AI really helps, and that is where it is becoming even more interesting. What we saw in last 36 months of our journey while building ML and AI workbenches at our end. that programmatic advertising requires massive amount of data. So and we need to make decisions in milliseconds. So just to give you context, at Mob Avenue, our real-time bidding platform, we make decisions in less than 10 milliseconds. So it might be one of the fastest programmatic platform that we have built, which is able to make decisions on in a 10 milliseconds to showcase that whether they would want to show the ad to a relevant user on behalf of any of the advertiser or not. And this is done through massive amount of training of data. This is done through precision that we have built over a period of time in terms of targeting a very cohort level audiences. And once we are able to predict that we will able to bid for this particular user, we try to optimize towards what sort of creatives, what sort of content this customer would be engaging it with, whether it is video, whether it is banner, whether it is some other form of ads. So this really helps us to improve the end sort of conversion. So that is where the AI is making up the very, very large contribution, where we are able to not only understand the behavior of the user before they click on the ads, uh, rather after they click on the ad also we are able to analyze that what kind of ads and what kind of engagements the user is able to do, and then finally are they moving towards the purchase, which is where the outcome, where Mob Avenue plays a very, very crucial role, that we push towards outcomes. So and all of this few years back was very, very rule based engines, where we used to build rule based algorithms, and that was a limitation which programmatic advertising used to have, that while you have capabilities to serve the ads, most of the triggers were happening rule based. And now, with the advent of AI, and I think most of the platforms continue to invest in their machine learning capabilities, all of this has become more dynamic in nature, and which is very, very great for the industry. But also, it is adding a lot of power to hands to the advertisers to ensure that they are able to do things at scale, as compared to some of the other leading media platforms such as search and social.
I think that's a really fascinating and a very impressive response, I must say. And that's a really powerful breakdown. I mean, I really appreciate how clearly you have laid out the evolving dynamics of programmatic and even growth marketing. So I mean, it's interesting to see how these two domains, they're quite separate, but kind of converging more than ever. And I think AI is acting more like a bridge for these two technologies. uh, Moving ahead, I think the science of marketing isn't simple. Marketers must understand current technology, commerce trends, and human psychology. They have to think about what drives individuals and broader social trends. Or marketers must know how to leverage new technology on micro and macro levels while constantly revising performance. So I believe that marketing is a pop psychology mixed with consumer technology, with a bit of fortune telling thrown into it. So today's emergent third platform technologies like data analytics, mobile devices, automation, and even for that matter AI, I believe, are changing the way societies and overall individuals are interacting on a very fundamental level. So what do you think, or how do you think that AI is, acting as a game changer in digital advertising, particularly in media buying?
I mean, there have been always instances that machine learning capabilities were also present earlier, but with the advent of generative AI, and especially the modeling which has happened and the platforms which has come forward last 36 months to last 24 months, there has been significant transformation which is happening at the digital advertising category. To give you context, most of the things today, or large part of your bidding is not done by humans. It's done through automated systems, right? These automated systems understand who they are reaching, from a consumer point of view, what is the behavior of the campaigns, what is the outcome of a campaign, whether they should scale the media on those particular campaigns, shall they stop the media on that particular campaign. So all of this decision making today can be powered through your AI frameworks. And this is where it is becoming even more interesting that you will have media buyers will be replaced by what we call is AI agents powered by your media buyers, right? So this gives a lot of real time ability for brands do faster changes. What's also happening is, still there is so much of information available, all of these agents, and with the help of the platforms, lot of consumer insights and consumer data is coming to the brand to make a lot of good decisions. And this can be decisions related to what is the next product which the brand would want the customer to buy. What are their preferences, what they are buying beyond their own platforms. So today, all of this information today is anonymized and available to the brand owners, and these features really help them to build models which is predictive models. They can also do dynamic creative optimization, wherein if you have seen shoe, they can showcase shoe in different colors. If you've seen a dress, they can showcase you wearing a dress in different times of the day. So a lot of things is something which is evolving, especially in the digital advertising and digital creative ecosystem. And all of this is supported through what is happening in the AI ecosystem, right? And this is what we kind of educate most of the marketers, that these are the things really helps any marketer to augment their journey. Secondly, reduce down any repetitive task. Let's say a AI marketer on an average uses 7 to 10 different platforms. Now consolidating reporting across 7 to 10 different platforms, making decisions, it's a tedious task. And this is where platforms like us is helping them to ensure all of this is available at a central platform for them to make growth decisions. And these are the things that we've been seeing, that there will be great game changers. We're already seeing some success, and especially on the creative side, we have seen over large amount of success, where brands have been very, very adaptive. And the same, it is coming in the reporting, decision making, insights, as we see for next 12 to 24 months. So AI is a great sell, but I think the use cases is where the brands are focusing on, which can really help them at scale.
Absolutely. And when we talk about AI in the realm of digital advertising and media buying, I think it's not about just about automation. I think it's more about how you are connecting with your audiences. I mean, I think people back then, I think they focused on, reaching more people. But right now, I think it's reaching the right people at the right time on the right platform, and also with the right message that actually resonates with the target audience. So I think
Right.
it's kind of helping brands build more deeper and meaningful relationships with their audiences, and I think that's pretty extraordinary.
Just give you an example, just to add on top what you
Yeah.
mentioned, right? There are X number of commerce buyers in India, and in that commerce buyer, there is only X numbers of buyers who generally buy shoe maybe twice a year. So, if brands today is able to have this sort of data of, which is non-PII level data about, the intent of the customer, that, there are these customers which are buying shoes online or offline, twice a year or once a year. Me as a shoe brand would want to target that specific set of user, because one, they are a great shoe buyer and they generally buy every year. The second is the LTV of such users are high. So audience plays a very, very critical role, in today's consumer journeys, where it is very difficult for anybody to attract the attention, because the attention spans are reducing lesser and lesser. So you need to have more focused audiences to ensure that you are optimizing your spends towards those particular audiences rather than finding out newer audiences again and again, which may not like your product here.
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree with you, and that's really important in today's digital age. And when we are talking about integrating AI in the current marketing strategy, I think just having a robust marketing strategy isn't enough anymore. I mean, the consumer expectations are changing. Competition is becoming more and more advanced, and the data we are getting, it's getting more detailed. So I think the chief marketing officers are under immense pressure to modernize their approach of marketing. On the other hand, I feel that while we are using AI and AI enabled advertising tools, while they are definitely giving a lot of advantages, I think it is also crucial to address the challenges and considerations that come with them. Now, of course, these include data privacy and ethics, ad fraud, data safety. So I think when we're talking about data privacy and ethics, the use of AI algorithms in programmatic advertising raises concerns about the ethical implications of accessing that vast amount of personal data. So
Right.
this sparks debate on how data is collected or stored or even utilized, including the importance of getting consent, user consent. So how do you think that brands can ensure that AI powered programmatic marketing strategies or advertising strategies remain ethical and transparent?
This is something very close to our heart, and we continue to educate the brands on how to use data, and how the data can be shared in a more collaborative and manner, especially for programmatic buying. What we always educate brands on to build up robust data protocols. Most of the brands today are GDPR, CCPA, PDPA compliant as per India as well as global guidelines, and we educate them to use data collaboration platforms or data clean rooms which are available today, primarily to ensure that they have a history of what data they have collected and how that data can be utilized, and the consent has been taken up, right? While we've been building platforms around it, we also integrate with the existing infrastructure which any of the brand might be having at their end, which not only helps them to work with us as a programmatic media platform, but also internally in their teams, because today, as a business teams, you need more data. As data science teams, you need more data. As decision making teams, you need more data. As a management teams, you need more data. So such collaboration platforms really helps you to ensure that you are not exposing your customer data outside the guardrails, and ensuring that only the insights or indicators are being used to ensure that the platforms can work in harmony. So and they can understand and drive more transparency. So this is where we continue to educate our customers, but also the industry, that transparency plays a very critical role, and consent management on data plays a very critical role, for any brand, any publisher, any media owner. And this is where we are developing tools so that the brands can share data in harmony to the media owners and can target specific set of audiences without sharing the PII information.
That's a really important lens to view AI through, especially when it comes to advertising, where trust is everything. Because right now, if we talk about digital marketing, I think algorithms determine what we see, how we see it, and even, how often we are shown something. So while, a lot of brands consider ethics and transparency to be an afterthought, I think it's really important to be bake them into the foundation itself. So I think thank you for sharing that a perspective, because in the current race towards smarter advertising, I think it's crucial that we don't lose sight of what it means to be responsible and human centric in our strategies, and yet giving the same impact of our marketing strategy.
I mean, AI is impossible, or any modeling is impossible without the data, right?
Yeah,
So, but what is important is to ensure that the data sanity and the data which is being shared is something which is not the PII level data, right? So
right.
that the models can be trained better and it can be deployed back to the brand in their infrastructure capabilities.
True. Yeah, yeah, I think I completely agree. And as and when we are, getting into the future, I think AI will play an even more integral role in the programmatic advertising field in the coming years. So having said that, how do you see, AI evolving in the next 3 to 5 years, specifically in programmatic and growth marketing, and what advancements can we expect further in AI technology that would probably enhance the marketing effectiveness?
While we continue to track both machine learning capabilities and generative AI, and I think there are multiple use cases with most of the businesses which are trying to create, whether on the business side, whether on the digital advertising side, whether the internal workflow. So many use cases have been creating, and we are also focusing on some of them. One of the cases, how AI leverages the data, browsing patterns, geolocation, usage, purchases to help you with very very personalized marketing campaigns, right, which caters to the needs of the consumers. And these consumers are today digital heavy consumers. So using these 4 or 5, 6 pillars, you can create a very very personalized creatives, not only creatives but also personalized consumer journeys, like which platform do they engage with, so that you are able to reach to the consumers on the platform which they like, or apps or games which they like. But in terms of advancement, having said that, we see there is a lot of advancement which will happen towards how the ads are created, how you are able to contextually target the customers, and especially your operations and campaign management, because that is something which is very very decision making, very very ability for you to drive results depends on how your systems are working 24/7. So those are something which will be very will be automated first. So automation of your campaign management is something which we are quite bullish that will happen in next 3 to 4 years, rather even early. Like we are also building up a lot of machine learning agents which can do various tasks at the same times, and helps our buyers and our programmatic media buyers, our internal teams, to optimize campaigns and thousands of campaigns at scale. So these are some of the advancements that we look at. Some of the things that we're also looking at is, especially in tier 2 and tier 3, because India is such a diverse culture, how AI can help you create vernacular content. While today you can create images, you can create videos, but how that vernacular content or same content converted into multiple other video languages or languages can be created, right? So that's another use cases that we're seeing, especially in the advertising and ad tech world. And one of the last would be where we are seeing a lot of brands today, or a lot of consumers are moving purchases directly on commerce platform, quick commerce platforms, D2C brands. How the brands are able to use these platforms beyond their typical social search programmatic media ecosystem. We call it this as retail media. So this is where we're seeing the brands will continue to augment AI to buy ads across hundreds of such commerce companies at scale, and can look at growth from those particular platforms. So these are some of the shifts that we see it. While it's still early days, but what we see is that it's gonna be a great journey from here. And every brand, every business owner, every entrepreneur, every person might have to shift their focus and continue to upgrade themselves on how AI can help them to improve their efficiency. uh, I mean, that's where we focus internally at Mob Avenue.
Definitely, I think AI is shaping the future of programmatic advertising by empowering advertisers to achieve unparalleled precision, efficiency, like you mentioned, and also creativity. So, I think from dynamic ad personalization to predictive analytics, I think AI is redefining the way brands can connect with their audiences thanks to AI. And I think as privacy regulations evolve and consumer expectations grow, it's really important that brands and advertisers embrace AI to stay ahead. Well, thank you so much, Ishank. It was a pleasure having you with us on a podcast today, and thank you for helping us understand that with AI-driven solutions, brands can deliver more impactful campaigns that can not only meet business objectives but also help in building more meaningful connections with their audiences. So thank you so much for your time and effort, and it was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you so much, Priya, and thank you, for inviting us and sharing, our journey towards building up, AI from India and then taking it to the world. I hope whosoever is listening this podcast, it'll be beneficial for them. We're happy to help you and drive. Growth. If you are a brand owner, if you are a technology company, we are happy to help you. How we shared our vision of what AI can do in coming years. So thank you so much, Priya, for this lovely podcast. All the best.
Thank you, Ishank, and I wish the same to you. So this is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please share it within your network to create more awareness around the latest developments that we spoke today in our podcast episode. And if you want to view all our previous podcasts, you can view them on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.